This pandemic has really shown me what a community can be when they really confide in each other and build one another up and do what's better for their neighbor, you know? Find out, how can I get 1% better today and become 37% better than I was at this very point now next year? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of J Talk. I'm your host as always, Jalen Omega, and thank you for tuning in. Like always, if you have not yet, and at this point I can't imagine why you have not yet, subscribe. If you have not, please go ahead and click that like, share, and subscribe button. Share this to someone who needs it, because once again, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be somebody out here that needs to hear this message, and I promise you, especially this message. This one is simply coming straight from the heart. I literally thought about this today while I was at work. I wrote out 2 points today just to remind me that I needed to put this out to the world today, and that's it. The rest of this is coming from the heart. And as you can tell by the title, surviving is enough. If you are here right now, if you are watching this video just alive, awake this morning, that is doing enough. It sounds so cliche. We hear these sayings where one life ends, another begins, but it's real, especially in this time of this pandemic and this new strand of COVID is surfaced and it's all over the place. I try not to watch the news because, in my opinion, the news just instills fear and it's exhausting, honestly. It's just as exhausting as social media. If I wasn't a content creator, if I wasn't out here just using my voice to try to push people forward and inspire them and get them ahead in life, just like I'm trying to, I would have honestly deleted my social media maybe a few times, but I would be using it a lot less than what I do, and it's just so draining. And that just ties into my topic and my point, that being here alive right now in this day and age, in this era that we're living in, is enough alone. We need to stop looking at other people's lives and seeing how prosperous they are, or seeing how down bad they may be, and thinking, wow, they have this, they have that. Wow, they don't have this, they don't have that. We need to stop as a society spending, first off, way too much time on social media. I have a friend who, she says that before she went on her 1 week social media hiatus, she was literally on Instagram and Twitter, between those two apps, almost 5.5 hours a day. That's a quarter of your day on social media between two apps. I don't know if you realize that, but there's 24 hours in a day. If you're on it for almost 6 hours, wow. Just thinking about that, I can't even imagine how much stuff I could get accomplished in 6 hours than just aimlessly scrolling on social media. But that's the society we live in today, right? And there's no shame in that. If that's what helps you cope with the times, if that's what helps you cope with what you're going through, it's okay to do that. I would suggest setting a time limit maybe, but everybody's coping differently. That also ties in with my point. We can't continue to compare our lives to others. Just because we see somebody else looking and seeming prosperous, first off, it's all smoke and mirrors. We never know what somebody else is really going through unless they tell us, or unless we live with them, they're our family, something like that. You never know what the reality is in someone's life. And I'm going to mention this in another one of my talks coming here soon in a couple of weeks, but I don't believe that perception is always reality, right? So these figures who seem like they have it all together, they may be living paycheck to paycheck, or unemployment check to unemployment check, stimulus to stimulus, and you may never know. And everybody's fighting their own battles. I understand that 100%. I fight demons every single day. As soon as I wake up to the time I get home, to the time I lay my head down at night, I'm fighting, I'm dealing with something. And I'm sure that's the same thing for you. Again, not comparing. I'm just happy to be alive another day. This pandemic has been hard. So, and I emphasize the hard because it has been hard, and it's still a pandemic. Thankfully, where I live, we are on lockdown. We're still able to make money. We're still able to go out and do certain things. We're still able to have fun. Safety precautions, of course. I just feel so blessed to live in a state where I don't have to worry about if I'm gonna be able to go to work and make some money to pay all my bills this week. I'm also thankful enough to have such a strong support system around that I'm not gonna have to worry about what am I gonna eat if I'm gonna eat tonight, you know? Or the next day, or the next day, or the next day. Everybody's always fighting a battle that we know nothing about. So let's be courteous of others. When people want to celebrate their accomplishments, let's applaud a little bit louder nowadays. This pandemic has really shown me what a community can be when they really confide in each other and build one another up and do what's better for their neighbor, you know? If you listen to certain motivational speakers or a seminar or snippets, anything like that, and they're talking about you may not be where you want to be because you're not putting in the work or you're not giving it 100%, 110%, sometimes they're right. But at the same time, on the other end of that spectrum, life happens, and that's just the reality of it. Life hits hard, and again, emphasis on the hard, because I feel like I'm saying that with so much passion because life has been hard as hell. I'm here to just remind you that I understand. If nobody else does, if nobody else is in your corner, trust me, I am, because I understand. One thing I've really been able to harp on and instill into my mind throughout this entire journey of this pandemic and content creating as well is consistency is key. If you follow that factor chart and really narrow it down, if you find a way to become 1% better than you were yesterday, and that's whatever better is for you, whether waking up early, eating more calories, dieting a bit more, spending less time on your phones, video games, whatever may have you. If you find yourself to get 1% better every single day, that is 37% better in a year. So just track that. Find out, how can I get 1% better today and become 37% better than I was at this very point now next year. I know this is very brief, I may sound repetitive, but I just feel like there's somebody out there who needed this reminder that where you are right now is okay. And you may think, I'm not where I want to be, Jalen. I'm not doing where I want to be. I don't have a job. I'm unemployed. I'm waiting for the government to help me out. Okay, I understand that. However, all of these things that you feel like you cannot control, that's very understood, but you can still control what you do. You can still control how you think. You can still control your habits day in and day out. And I'm not trying to sound like no preacher here, but that's just the reality of it. But at the end of the day, I'm just here to remind you that I'm here for you if you feel like nobody else is. No matter what you may be facing, no matter what you think you may be going through right now, you think it's gonna last forever, I'm here to guarantee you that it's not. It's just a season. Your breakthrough is coming, and I can't wait to hear about your testimony one day, whether it be this week, next month, next year, and the next 5, 10 years. Your breakthrough is coming. Everything that's going on right now is just building up our survival skills for one, shifting our mindset, shifting the dynamic, and just building us all up for a better future. So keep that in mind. I love you. I'm so thankful for every single one of you, and I hope you all have a very blessed week. Take care, everybody. Peace.